Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to I've Got Next with myself, Austin, and Smeef Erickson.
Hello.
We are back with Warhammer 40k's Fire Warrior, and we are about to do a prison break as the dastardly Imperials have captured the Ethereal.
The diversionary attack will begin in 30 seconds. You must gain
Digging the
access to the
ponytail.
prison and the cells in the tunnels
Oh
beneath.
yeah.
Fall
Is that
into
like
As you
a-
might can tell, what's that?
I was just gonna say he's got like a little Padawan ponytail.
Yeah, as you might can guess, they are very Asian themed, and very much so, especially with the voice actors in this. Almost at some points speaking close to offensive Asian stereotype voices, but
I was gonna say, did they actually get Asian actors, or did they go like full Mickey Rooney Breakfast at Tiffany's?
no, I will say they at least hired Asian actors for the most part. Um, you'll notice that this level is very close to the last level, but we're getting out of it. Also, just revel in the majesty of the draw distance.
I don't hate that. That's kind of a very almost like a dystopian future kind of cityscape.
They do a lot with very little. I will say there's some surprising points in this game that kind of play really well for as bad as the controls are, or are kind of innovative gameplay. Also, I cannot stress how bad these controls are.
Yeah,
if you move
I'm
the mouse
noticing
just a
you're,
little too quickly.
Yeah, I'm noticing you're kind of overshooting the mark on some of those.
Yeah, and if you turn the sensitivity any farther down, you just cannot move at all. These two guys actually super helpful. Unless you're going for a score-based run, which apparently is kind of a hidden stat, how well you do. Because they kill everything, and that is not something you want.
Now, can you kill them? Like if you wanted
Yes.
to hog all the kills?
100%, or at least most enemies that I've shot by, or most allies I've shot by accident, can be killed by friendly fire.
Accident.
Now,
Yes, accidentally. We start to get some of the sniper versions of the Imperial Guard. They are no fun because they make your reticle jump if you're trying to look down sights at anything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why they would do that, but it's still aggravating. They do like their trench warfare, though.
They do. Also,
you cannot enter here.
yep, that serves no purpose here except just to look at and confuse you. Just, hey, this giant silo, do you want to go in? Too bad. There's that weird Stitch-looking
And we've
graphic.
already said that you can't climb up those things that look like ladders.
No. I will say there aren't too many branching pathways in this game. Usually about the best you've got is you'll have a pathway to a secret or a couple of items, but never really like, hey, go this way for a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
You must destroy this.
Okay, plant the bomb here.
Yep. Quite a bit of time it takes to plant all of the explosives in this, of which there are at least 2 types.
Inside. We will monitor your progress
Yeah,
into
we've
tunnel
seen the grenade, which does not have much of an AOE.
We have identified a point at which one of the prison air vents intersects with your cave. We will download.
Oh,
the
look
location
at
marker
those
shortly.
faked god rays, huh?
You'll have to use an explosive charge to gain access.
I mean, you make do with what you got.
Yeah.
This is Grandma and Grandpa's version of RTX.
Oh man, this is it. Your computer chugged. I think this runs on cell phones now,
This is the
just for
place.
comparison.
You must destroy
I
this.
believe it.
You know, we're busting into the air vents.
Oh,
Basically, Die Hard.
I was about to make the same joke. Oh, yet another Alan Rickman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
The weapon you are holding has
So,
a scope mode.
The
with
sniper
zoomed
rifle
function.
is really bad.
This
um,
scope can be activated using secondary.
So
Oh,
you
don't
can
even-
zoom in,
Yeah.
but any hits you take causes your sight to just jump. So if you don't get sighted on the enemy first, you're just never gonna hit them because they'll shoot you, and then your shots will hit
Warning.
the ceiling.
Surveillance equipment has been detected in this area. Proceed with
Laser turret?
caution.
A security camera.
Ah.
Colonel.
That's an
I don't
interesting
know.
noise.
Yeah, the horrible grinding noise. I don't know if they can actually see you. I've never been caught by those things.
It's kind of hard when they can't look below the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, if the laser was any indication of where it was looking, it was just straight up.
And then when they're attached to turrets, the turrets auto see you no matter what. So I'm not really sure if they're just there for show or for a little bit of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, still turret section. Now, you'll notice the sparklers dropping on the ground. That means that bullet reaches the end of its shooting sight. So you actually can't even hit them until they get closer.
Oh. So, the bullets just disintegrate?
Yeah, they just end if it goes too far. Kind of hits an invisible wall and drops.
Boy, that would have been so much cooler. Okay, that guy's just hamming it up.
Yeah. Some of the guys fall just because.
Now,
I just feel bad for him.
There's a sniper rifle. I swear, those guns you would do better throwing the bullets.
Oh, 100%. We'll get to it a little bit later, but there is a sniping specific level, and it doesn't rely on enemy snipers hitting you. It just auto kills you if all the snipers aren't dead when you walk across the open ground.
I will say, for like the color palette's very brown, but it's not like they've made it. They like designed the little as if they've got to move very, very large objects through these tunnels.
And I will say that's not far off from Imperial design in the lore. They're very, very over the top, kind of like Gotham City from Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Giant statues, rooftops you could drive a semi-truck through,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Just can't get around that table, man.
Either that was a stormtrooper gun, or that guy was just a bullet sponge.
It could be both. Also, if you look very closely, Imperial cheese on this table.
Ooh.
Let's see if this being the Grimdark, that cheese is kind of out of place.
Oh, is it kind of like ration food and whatnot?
Yeah, well, they eat a lot of what they call corpse starch, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's food made from the bodies of the dead,
Southern Green.
just kind of recycled. There are also some very large beasts that, imagine like a cow farm that takes up an entire planet, and you have the Grox farms.
Is that like Perfect Farm?
Yes, it remembers. Now we're just blowing up some artillery.
Nice.
A bit of interesting parts. There's a novelization of this game that is quite good as well, but it delves a little bit into the lore of why a single fire warrior is this good at just murder in general. And the theory being that there's another team working with you. We'll get some hints of that in a scene coming up in just a sec. and they're holding off the majority of the villains. But also, there's a chance. You remember I said that the Tau don't really have a presence in the warp, so Chaos kind of doesn't see them. It is one of the fan theories slash lore sometimes, because it's been rewritten a couple of times, is that this particular character, a demon of Khorne, which is the murdery killy demons, just happened to see him by accident in a sheer like freak 1 in a billion chance, noticed him,
Yeah.
and is helping him become a murder machine.
Oh.
Khorne doesn't really give a shit about which side wins or loses as long as there's blood and skulls.
Seems apropos. I do enjoy a good novelization of a video game.
This one's not bad. The main character Kai actually undergoes quite a few lore changes. It goes from this game, where he is a simple fire warrior, to if you've ever played the not the Total War games, but the Dawn of War, which was the RTS back in the day.
Sounds very familiar. I'm sure I have.
No, particularly good RTSs from the time, and Shazla Kai has leveled up into a commander at that point, and gets a little stealth suit and runs around. And then later on is an actual like supreme commander, and has a couple of adventure novels where at one point takes a satellite strike from an orbiting spaceship, and
here's your
is pretty
buddy.
much okay. Oh yeah.
He is just
taking
eating
it.
those bullets.
Just take him
does
on
that
the
go back to
chin.
like what you had talked about earlier, where like the damage is just like really random?
It is. There's sometimes where headshots are insta kills, and sometimes where you just tiny tickle gun. And you see me reacting as if I'm taking damage there. I'm not really, except I am, because there are snipers shooting through the geometry.
Yeah.
Hey, the way to the cells is clear, but the main courtyard doors are still closed. We need a key.
Also, love that just auga auga alarm.
Yeah, it's very stock sounds.
If you can believe it, not the worst one in the game.
Oh, looking forward to it.
A little
Was
bit
that
of
you
green there,
making the-
some nice.
Is that you making the robot noises?
No, that's them speaking. They make very muffled, like, talking through walkie-talkie noises.
Oh, I think that's bullet ricochet I'm hearing.
Oh, yes, it could be that too.
Boy, the spread on that gun.
It's so bad. And coupled with the fact that if you move the mouse too far left or right, you'll either A, do a 180, or B, move a gnat's ball hair.
Like, it shoots faster, but like just the spread that it has is kind of like the bullets I'm seeing. The bullets are flying outside of the reticle.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot of the guns in this game are just awful. Also, I'm just distracting myself with the size of the silverware that the Imperials use. You could fit an entire child in that picture.
Mighty appetites they have.
Oh, there he is.
Boy, he is determined to prove that the blade has not died as a weapon anymore.
Yes, this gate will work on the main courtyard door.
Also, tiny little candelabra there.
Nice. Why?
Who knows? Little romantic candlelight reading and this giant red interrogation light in the background.
All right, and so this is their base that you're infiltrating, right?
Yes. So one of the things I actually really like about this game is it takes place in a 24-hour period. Which is a cool kind of like movie style storytelling. And right now, so in the beginning of the game, the Ethereal, which is like the commander of, or at least a leader figure of the Tau, gets kidnapped. The trench warfares, you're going in just to establish a beachhead, and they're setting up a diversionary attack so that you can break into a penal colony or prison they have on this planet.
Okay.
As we continue the game, it's actually particularly cool to see how the level changes go with the timing and everything like that. But we're still on the same planet, so to speak.
This looks like a boss room.
It does, but here is the point where I was talking about where it seems like you have friends helping and fighting. There is a squad of Tau, a fire team or Pathfinder team is moving through the upstairs where you were a minute ago, heading back to open the door to the cells.
Okay.
And they just kind of allude to it. As you can see, there's fighting going on up there, but you can't really see. You can't hit anything from down here.
It's for show.
Yeah,
Their
kind of like
bullets are
a little.
stopping.
What's that?
I was noticing that their bullets were stopping short of the mark.
Oh yeah. And so there they go. They've opened the door for you, and you can proceed to the next level.
Meet me in the deep cell interrogation chamber for psychoparametric testing of the prisoner.
Ooh.
Remain still. Your suit buffer is full.
So this thing is this game is doing two things that I'm noticing. A lot of modern games will put like a mini map or a compass that has a blip on it telling you which way to go, but this kind of works around that. Now, back, what was this? PlayStation 2 era?
PlayStation 2 and early PC, yeah.
Yeah, so there were map blips and stuff like that, but not like it is today, to where it's like dragging you by the nose to the next objective. But this does sort of corral you in by putting you in somewhat of a hallway to keep you going on the right path.
Oh yeah, and I would say there is one level that is particularly awful that even after playing through it a couple of times, I still get confused, and we'll cross that when we come to it. But for the most part, it does there is only one way to actually get in or out.
Yeah. Also, I did notice that the bullet to the back of the head was just moderately annoying to the chap that you shot.
Yeah, unless it's one of those, it must be a D20 or something when you roll a crit and then it actually does damage. But we get a first good little bit of level and geometry change here as we fight through the prison system. There's the other alarm. Yeah.
Oh, is it directional?
It is directional.
That's neat for that time.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in this game. Like randomized damage is kind of cool. We've gotten a little way away from it.
It's cool
would say
when
that-
it's implemented right.
Yes. There's also a bit of randomized audio as well. It's not as much as say a Jurassic Park Trespasser.
Mm-hmm.
I also like how they continue the hallways. Just a little flat JPEG, but it looks really well done.
Boy, I would almost consider doing a Jurassic Park playthrough, but don't know that I could put myself through that. If for anyone who hasn't seen it, he hasn't made any videos in quite a while, unfortunately, but research indicates they're really good at playthrough of it.
Oh yeah. You get a bit of the Latin loving of the Imperial there with the Purgatorium.
And Roman numerals.
Oh yeah.
I feel that was intentional.
Oh yeah. The Imperium itself is based heavily with Latin and kind of the Roman Imperium in mind, even to the point of some of the Adeptus Astartes, those Space Marines themselves, having like the brush headdresses of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you were too harsh with the probe.
Ooh.
He told us nothing. They're too stubborn, these Tau. They die before they break. What use are these things? Quiet. Severus wants them. What Severus wants, he gets. And he wanted the Space Marines here? Why? Damn the Stars. They think they're better
Interesting. I like that the dialogue comes up in a little screen.
Forget that.
Yeah.
I'd be careful what you say.
And this Severus guy they're talking about, we met him briefly in one of the cutscenes before, but is the planetary governor.
Arrange for disposal of the body.
And all this may seem super evil, the torture, the talking about how, dumb aliens are. That's just the Imperium.
Yeah.
There he is. I'm just gonna swing my sword. If you walk into it, it's your fault.
He is locked to his little room there. There's a lot of games that do that, like with baddies. Like you'll go in, the creature attacks you, but the minute you walk past that border of where it guards, it just immediately forgets that you exist.
Mm-hmm. And I won't say that they don't forget, so to speak. They still try and shoot at you and everything, but they just locked rigidly. Now, the purpose of this might be the fact that anytime you get anywhere near geometry, your character just gets hung up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get a good view of the, I believe this would be an oubliette.
No activity.
Or a panopticon if there was a tower in the middle.
Quiet. Nothing detected.
There's the secondary fire sniper shots that are supposedly more accurate and more damaging.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat. Like, so in the beginning of the game, when you were when it was kind of going through the tutorial how to use weapons, it had a couple of guys from a distance walking and or running back and forth to sort of teach how to lead a shot. But I'm noticing that they probably realized that probably wouldn't hold up too well if they actually implemented it into the game. So most of the enemies are stood still.
Oh yeah.
Get him, but the door's stuck.
Maybe if we didn't build our doors as giant, complicated gears.
But you got it.
Yeah, that's the Imperium for you.
Oh, was that a proximity or is it blow up on impact?
So it's timed unless it contacts an enemy directly, and then it detonates.
Yeah, I noticed like you beamed a guy with it.
Yeah, that is the best way to go, is to just throw them directly at an enemy. Sometimes they'll kill more than one enemy. Sometimes they just are overkill for one dude. Yep, just door leading to a dead end.
Gives it flavor.
No activity.
Here's the
Oh, no.
sneaky guy hidden in the pulpit.
What kind of a routine? We're in Doom territory now.
Yeah, and hey, we found the Imperial shotgun. Now, what I love about this gun, it's kind of worthless in-game. It is the same shotgun model to the day. Like, I have recently purchased models that still use this shotgun. It's fantastic. The shotgun is a point-blank range weapon, or else it's worthless. It does have the secondary fire of shooting 2 rounds at once.
Yeah, and it's not that the game would program this, but it's a shorter barrel, so the spread would start sooner.
There's no, I mean, for it to have that little a range, it would have to be one of those ones where the barrel just is the size of the shotgun shell itself.
Yeah.
It is a melee weapon. There you can see this game's version of flanking, where that guy just made a big loop in order to come up beside me.
Yeah, it's a neat thing to put in there.
And we find ourselves back in this little administratum room, and our blue key has spawned on this commander.
Is that random?
No, enemies just spawn, and you make the loop and come back, and he's there.
He was looking around as if he couldn't figure out where the bullets were coming from.
With this AI, maybe not. Also, little view of the room here, not bad.
No, has sort of a really grandiose entrance to it.
They did the best they could. I'll show off some other games that kind of highlight this Imperial architecture a little bit better.
Unable to connect to tower control. Control may be offline, or your suit may be malfunctioning. Storing data for future upload attempt.
And there we have it. So we have finished that bit of level there.